Warning: the following content contains a lot of spoilers. If you don't want to get spoiled, feel free to click off this video and watch a different video of mine. You're free to come back here after you completed the anime. Viewers' discretion is advised. I usually don't review mainstream or popular anime, but this one in particular was something I wanted to watch for a while, and boy oh boy, it was extremely enjoyable. Before I explain, let's get right to the introduction. Gachiakuta is based on a manga series written by Kei Urara. As of the time I'm recording this video, it has over 18 volumes and 168 chapters since 2022, while the anime series has been ongoing since 2025, with a season 2 releasing soon. It was animated by Bones, the second anime in a row animated by the animation studio. If you want to see what anime are animated by Bones that I have reviewed, go to the playlist that is linked in the description. Alright, let's get right to the plot. We start the anime with a 15-year-old boy named Rudo, and Rudo has problems himself. He doesn't have any friends, and everyone dislikes him since they see him as bad news, which means one day it gets even worse for him. After giving a gift to a girl he likes, he goes back home to see his adopted dad getting stabbed to death by a home intruder. Rudo tries to stop the home intruder from killing his adopted dad, but he goes unconscious. Once he woke up, his adopted dad ended up dead. That was when the guards entered Rudo's home and arrested him because they believed Rudo had murdered his own adopted dad. Sadly, he gets sentenced to the pit for a crime he didn't even commit, and everyone in town, even the girl he liked, all call him trash and a murderer, all for something he had no part of. So Rudo gets sent to the pit, and this is where he is for the remainder of this anime. Inside the pit, he's in a wasteland full of garbage, and he sees giant monsters called trash beasts. So when Rudo passes out from the toxic air in the wasteland, a random man goes and saves Rudo with a mask. The random man is named Engine, and Engine is a cleaner. Due to how Rudo saw Engine, he begs him to answer his question of how he returns to the Spear, where he originally lived. But Engine doesn't answer him. So Engine takes Rudo to a truck stop, and the locals there capture him for trafficking. But after a while, Rudo uses his awakened powers and defeats everyone. After that, Engine stops Rudo and offers him to join him in the cleaners, and Rudo refuses to join because, he wants to return to the Spear. So later on, Engine takes Rudo around the ground for a while, until Engine lets Rudo explore on his own. While Rudo was exploring, the money Engine gave to him was stolen by a cat, so he chases it and steals a stick to stop it. That stick belongs to another cleaner member named Sanka, and Sanka isn't happy with Rudo for stealing his stick, so Rudo returns it and apologizes. From here, something gross happens in the scene, so I will skip to when Engine picks up both Rudo and Sanka. After Engine picks them up, he drives to the cleaner's headquarters to show Rudo around the place, so after a while, Rudo gives in and decides to join the cleaners. Meanwhile, the kidnappers who kidnapped Rudo from the start all get killed by an unknown person. From here, the headquarters get an anonymous call where they claim a cargo was stolen by a trash beast. So the cleaners, including Rudo, head to the location, and they all get led to a trap by two raiders who want Rudo, since he's a Spearite. So two cleaner supporters take Rudo to safety, and Sanka goes and defeats the two raiders. After Sanka defeats the two raiders, the same unknown person appears and stops Sanka from fighting. Meanwhile, the two supporters and Rudo see that the exit is blocked off, so the unknown person appears and reveals himself. He's another raider named Jabber, and he's an extremely weird and freaky guy, not going into detail about him. So when Jabber told Rudo to surrender, Rudo didn't surrender, and one of the supporters defended him where he would eventually get stabbed. From here, Rudo and Jabber fight 1v1 until Rudo loses, and Jabber attempts to kidnap him. However, Engine shows up and saves Rudo from being kidnapped, so the raiders retreat. The good thing about this is that the supporter who got stabbed ended up surviving. Fast forward a bit because remember when Rudo wanted to return to the spear from the start? He gets information that someone from No Man's Land witnessed travelers moving from the ground to the spear. So Rudo and the cleaners travel to No Man's Land where they see a girl named Amo, and Amo isn't seen as friendly from the start. She sees everyone involved as a threat to her, so with her power, she makes four of the cleaners, including Rudo, hallucinate the person they love and support, where they protect Amo, believing she is the person they love. Eventually, two of the cleaners who didn't get hallucinated defeated Amo and the hallucinated cleaners. After that, Rudo ends up beating Amo up brutally until they stop him from doing so. Amo's injuries would then get treated, and she reveals that she saw an angel who travels from the ground to the spear. Backstory time. Amo was originally trafficked after her mother sold her. The trafficker would then take Amo to the same tower in No Man's Land, where he would imprison and abuse her. Eventually, after the angel shows up and takes the trafficker's boots to give them to Amo, both Amo and the trafficker get into a physical fight. By the end of that, Amo pushes the trafficker into a hole where he falls to his death. In the present, Rudo eventually apologizes and tells Amo that he recognizes the mask Amo sketched out to be his adopted dad's killer's mask. So after a while, the cleaners leave, and Amo stays in the tower. After Amo goes back inside the tower, a random shadow appears, and it cuts to Jabber saying his mission is completed. I have no clue what just happened there. We'll see later. Time passes again, and the cleaners go to a bar to eat. Inside, Rudo was confronted by a hooded man who had Amo's boots, which he had stolen from her. Turns out this man is the leader of the raiders. After revealing himself, he grabs Rudo into a portal, and the other cleaner members go and grab Rudo and enter the place Rudo is in. Inside, the cleaners confront the raiders for what they are doing, but the raiders don't care and sweep all the cleaners away, except for Rudo. There are a lot of fight scenes in this part of the anime, so I will skip them and focus on Rudo. The raiders' leader, whose name is Soldil, tries to talk to Rudo and question him, but Rudo isn't talking, so Soldil reveals that his coat, Rudo's gloves, and Amo's boots are part of the Watchman series. Soda wanted to steal Rudo's gloves to keep them all to himself so he can rule the ground, but Rudo refused to give them to him. So eventually, Soda and the raiders abandon the flying trash beasts they are inside, leaving all the cleaners inside to die. But they all make their escape through a hole where they fly out. And the good thing is that Rudo took Amo's boots to keep them safe with him. The rest of the anime is mostly just Rudo spending time with the cleaners and nothing bad happening, so I would say the ending. In the end, we see Amo chained up inside a cell, which means the anime ends with Amo seeing a figure at the door, believing it's Rudo. Okay, I know I skipped a lot of scenes, but they are mostly fight scenes and not important scenes that I didn't need to get into here. Anyways, this was a pretty interesting and crazy plot. Season 2 might be even more interesting. Let's move on to the animation. The animation is decent. I am not a big fan of it, even though I love Bones animation and any anime they animate. Either way, I still enjoyed it in some particular scenes, but not in every scene. Let's move on to the opening and ending themes. The first opening is insane. The fact that the instruments and chorus changed from chill to straight metalcore was crazy to hear. This opening is performed by Pale Dusk. The second opening is actually pretty good, and I like it. This opening is performed by Mori Calliope, and she has a great redemption after performing the ending theme for that awful anime, Suicide Squad Isekai. The first ending theme is really catchy and I love the instruments used in the song. It's also pretty chill. This ending is performed by Dust Cell. The second ending theme is my favorite out of all the songs they have used for the opening and ending themes. It's such a banger to listen to, and I'm definitely putting this on my playlist. This ending is performed by Katanoa. Let's move on to the voice acting. The voice acting. I'm surprised this anime isn't rated 17 plus, despite how this is an anime with a huge amount of profanities and vulgar words. Even though I don't like when an anime or a show just says profanities around 5 to 10 times in a singular sentence, this one in particular doesn't do it. It says a lot of profanities, but not like that. Let's move on to the pacing. The pacing is great, and the episodes usually end with a cliffhanger to the point that it makes me want to continue watching the anime. However, I don't have anything else to say about the pacing. Time for my final review. Time for my final review on Gachiakuta. I'm placing Gachiakuta on Feel Free to Watch It, in between Blue Box and Rui Rocks. Once again, I'm not a big fan of the animation, but the anime's plot was still enjoyable and something you shouldn't miss out on. Time for my next anime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Erase his next. Erase his next. Why am I getting the sad animes? Why am I getting the sad animes? Are you kidding me, bro? Okay then. Time for my outro. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And please follow my socials in the description down below. And since you know what my next anime is going to be, stay tuned for that. Until then, this is Enjeru, signing off.